So recently, the first episode of Akiba's Trip aired, and I'll be going over what I saw and what I think about it. Now, the story we got so far, Akiba's Trip is based off a game, and it's one I'm familiar with, but I haven't actually played it yet. But essentially, Akiba is overrun by vampires and stuff. But the only way to kill these vampires is to expose their skin to the sunlight, which is done by stripping them of their clothing. The physics and how it works is kinda not that accurate to how it would technically work, because skin is always exposed when you look at the vampires, but they're not burning it, whatever. But I can overlook that based on how it seems like it's based on being comedic rather than a serious story. Of course, this story makes you expect it would be pretty ecchi and allows for some decent entertainment. I rather like it because it's funny just hearing the story itself. And I think the combat will be much more interesting because it's not based on straight up beating up each other or killing. Now, you'd expect the series to be pretty ecchi, but so far in the first episode there was only 2 distinct scenes I would consider ecchi. So if you're really not into fan service, so far it's not that bad, so it might be tolerable. So the story within the circumstances is that our protagonist is stabbed through the heart and dies protecting a vampire girl who then revives him by her vampire powers and making him into a vampire clothes stripping machine. Sounds pretty awesome. This is the same as the game we have in North America. The dude is a vampire but fights vampires. I think it's clever because if he wasn't a vampire, there wouldn't be too much of a stake if his clothes are taken off. But now there is, and the combat can be delivered both ways, to the main character and the bad guys. So it's pretty cool, I would say, in that aspect. The game we have in North America and Japan, I believe, is the second game of the series, and the characters and everything are different from what I saw. So I'm unsure if this anime is based on the first game, which I don't know anything about, or if it's an anime exclusive story and characters. Either way, I'm in for this ride, and I'm going to watch it all the way. So a good thing I saw was the clothes ripping off seemed pretty fast paced instead of dragging on action sequence, which kind of start and stop, with interjections in between of opponents talking back and forth. The animation also seems to hold up with the clothes ripping off. It was pretty fast and decent for fluidity. The characters seem to work together well, with the main dude and the vamp girl being in circumstances that would usually have the girl yelling or beating the main guy. Instead, it's more casual and she is still appreciative of what he has done. I was expecting for her to be some sort of hard-ass character, but she seems like an atypical character type. She seems quite human, even though she's a vampire. And I'm liking the little we have so far. So for the English dub, which is how I watched it, Blondie sounds like she is always exhaling. That might sound like it makes no sense, but it's more of a letting out air when you speak type thing. Does that make any sense to you? Oh well, the point is she sounds a bit like that, which is slightly off-putting, but overall not an issue with her performance. She did it pretty well, putting on some otaku sort of personality. Main dude was also pretty well casted, and everyone else. My favorite is the younger sister, though. So it's gone. After watching the first episode, I learned that the guy who voices the main character is actually a YouTuber, which is pretty surprising that we are getting some YouTubers into the anime voice acting. I'll leave a link below to his channel if you feel like checking him out. So far, I have high hopes for Akiba's Trip, or Akiba Strip, and I enjoyed the first episode for what we got. If anything I mentioned piques your interest, then by all means go ahead and check it out at Crunchyroll or Funimation if you want to watch it dubbed, which Funimation is trying out a new experimental initiative that is releasing their simuldubs of a series within 30 minutes of airing in Japan. So Akiba's Trip is the first series they are trying this out on, and I am quite happy about it, because now there is not even a 2-week buffer period between watching dubs after the anime airs. This is huge because this could easily become the new standard if it proves to be successful in execution, which so far it is. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Have you played the game? Are you looking forward to more of this? Or is it a disgrace to the games? Also, if anyone knows anything about the first game, let me know if that's what the anime is based on. My thoughts on the show are subject to change, of course, but so far I'm looking forward to it. I'll be sure to put out a full review once it is finished airing, so keep on the lookout for that. Enjoy!